Oh, hello. Usually I would try to like raise this a little more, but I rearranged some stuff because I got a package a whole day before I thought I was gonna get it. I got it yesterday, and I've been so tired, mostly because I started off Sunday. I started the week not great because I didn't do my homework before it was due, so I had a full day of work, and then I had to come home and finish homework, and that just set the tone for the week. And then I've been staying up a little later or not going to bed as early as I wanted to, um, and doing stuff after work still. So recovering. Anyway, why am I looking up here? I'm looking at the Tarot of Magical Correspondences, but I wasn't gonna pull any. I'm gonna try to find this pin. Oh, I was saying that because hey Holly, I was saying that because you can officially join AARP today. Happy birthday! Is it your birthday? Is that an age thing? Do you got to be like 65 to join AARP? I can't remember from the commercials. Um, it's the camera's on like a, it's on a lean, but it kind of I don't know. 50? What? You can join AARP at 50? I have to let my mom know. Maybe I'll surprise her on her birthday with some AARP information next year. I think I'll do that. I think I'll do that. That'd be funny. Um, but anyway, Eve, hello, hello, Eve. I don't know why I want to say Evelyn. Hello, Evelyn. I don't even know if Evelyn is your name. It could just be Eve. I know a girl named Abby, or I guess she's a woman. I know a woman named Abby, and her name is Abby. Like it's not short for Abigail or Abatha or anything else. It's just Abby. Not just Abby, but you know. Ooh, excuse me. So, just Eve. I like that. I love that actually. I love that. I love that Abby is just Abby. Like if I met a Tom that was just Tom, that would be cool. It's like it's not Thomas, it's just Tom. You know what I mean? Because so often we think it's something more. Anyway, so I have this pen, and it's interesting because I only had one of these, but somehow I've ended up with two. I found this yesterday when I was moving. Hey, Vicky. I found this yesterday when I was moving stuff around, and I went to go return it to this journal that I have from a friend. She got me two journals and a pen, and I went to go put it back, and the pen is already there. So I somehow got a second pen. Don't know how. That happens sometimes. Sometimes things will just mysteriously duplicate. Like one time on campus, they were collecting the old phone books, and I turned in my old phone book, and then like a day later, I found a second one. And I was like, I know I turned this in. And then I went to talk to my RA. I was like, I turned in my phone book, right? He was like, yeah. Things just duplicate sometimes. I don't know why. I don't know where. Don't know when. It's like never money. As far as I know, it's never like money or something of like value. Hey, Malika. Hey, Twitty. Kathy, right? What? A Russ dream in your dream journal? What? What? Russ popped up. Russ is creeping in the ethers, going and giving surprises to people. So I have my notebook today because I wanted to. I want to do. I don't know what cards I want, and I can't think of a deck. That's why I was going to go off of a number and then the diceology numbers. And if it's a full six, so I'm gonna ask Siri to choose a number because I don't feel like rolling dice. I know, I know. You're fine, Twitty. Hubbies are important too. Um, what was I going to say? I would roll dice, but I'm not gonna. So I'm gonna choose a number between 1 and 6, and I'm gonna write it down so I don't forget. So step one is 1 through 6. Oof, well, this pen doesn't work, so it duplicated the body, but not the ink. There we go. 1 through 6, it does work. And I don't know why I'm writing this down. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. I do know what I'm doing, but I don't know what I'm doing. Reams Lieber reading blew you away. It was titled A Thousand Roses, right? I know the title of it. I didn't watch it though. I think I've talked about it before, but most of the time I stick to like Pisces and Taurus. Sometimes Aries because of my Venus, and sometimes other stuff. Sometimes the title will grab me. Um, I was on lunch today on my phone, and this bee, like, I didn't even notice it for a second, but it was like buzzing by my phone, and then I was like, okay, it's time for me to go in. My Jupiter is in Libra, but I don't watch Libra. I think there was a point in time where I watched Libra last year, maybe early last year or late 2019. It might have been late 2019 because Libra was kind of starting to resonate for me, but I was like, what? I don't know. Twitty or Kathy? I have Libra in my sixth house. I have Libra in conjuncted though, so it doesn't cusp anything. It's just firmly in my sixth house. The sixth house is probably the house that I neglect the most. Maybe not. I feel like my second house was pretty neglected for a minute. Maybe not. I don't know. Anyway, this bee was buzzing by my phone. I'm like, oh my gosh. And then so it was like towards the end of lunch. So I went back and I was like, oh, it's time to go inside. And then it was like following me. It was by my ear, like, hey, I was watching that. I was like, leave me alone. Leave me alone. It's time to go. It's time to go. Okay. I get you, Twitty. I understand. That's why sometimes, like, even if if someone shares their name with me or if I see someone's name, I may not use it necessarily because I don't know if they necessarily, you know what I mean? Anyway, so I have this. I'm going to choose a number 1 through 6 to see how many numbers we get. And then I'm going to flip coins every time. Let me see. 1 through 6 were the numbers. This is why I'm writing this down for number. And then heads/tails for confirmation. And I'll go from largest to smallest. So I know what this means. You'll find out when I do it. I'll say heads is a yes. Heads equals yes. And then I'll write down all the numbers and we can try to piece together a disology message, a disology type message if we want. If not, then we won't. You know what I mean? So it came to me night before last. It was either the night before last or yesterday. Um, 1 second. That birthday cake, way. Birthday cake, way. Birthday cake, way. Birthday cake must be. And I was like, that's not a bumblebee. That's like a straight up bee. I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, ew, go away, leave me alone. uh, so yeah, the day before yesterday or yesterday, I feel like I'm all over the place today. But strangely enough, I can keep my thoughts. Usually I forget. Right time. Rob. What? Where's Rob? Right time. Oof, that isn't how you spell time. Right place. There we go. So, oh, that's so sweet. Oh, I need to get me some cherry ice wine. Ooh, when I was in Michigan at Cherry Republic, that cherry ice wine was so good. It was so good. I might get a bottle and have it on my birthday. I'll have it on a Friday in a Zoom call. Maybe with Remy, maybe not. Maybe I'll just drink it. Anyway, so it was about the gardener and about that Seven of Pentacles that was coming in. So I think it was either later that night or the next morning or at some point when I was asleep. The Ace of, I should have grabbed the deck. I can't now because I got a new TV. And this new TV blocks everything except what's on the top shelf. So I would have to move it up, which I could do. It'd be fine. Um, ooh, pink sparkling cider for later. Nice. Um, it's almost like because then with the Two of Pentacles, the Two of Orbs, the Nocturne, it talked about being in between worlds, the new world and the old world, and how we, as graciously as we can, or how we do things to transfer or to make that transition as harmonious and graceful and smooth as we can. Um, and then I was like, whoa, so like, what if that Ace of Pentacles that had the message of like the meaning behind the codes or whatever, like, what if that's this other world like peeking through? And then the person that was on the card is like the scarab incarnate. And the scarab was the one that was going in between realms, where the high priestess sits in between the light and the dark, and the scarab was the one that was going from one side to the other side. But now it's like a whole person. And then I was pretty sure it was the next day. I'm pretty sure it wasn't the same night. But that night I started thinking about that with the Ace of Pentacles. Um, it was an energy of, I guess it's a question. It's a question that I've asked before. A question that a question whose answer may be different for everybody. But it's a question of like, what does grounding mean outside of just like going outside and like putting your feet in the grass and touching a tree or something like that? Because with the Seven of Coins, the High Priestess, and then the Sun that came out at first, and then with Hey Penelope, and then with everything that came out after that, it's almost like these new things, these outside of our reach, kind of, but still within the realm of potentiality and possibility. It's like we ground those things. Those things are grounded in us as we may go out to Earth or to Gaia to ground. And I think that's what the Seven of Orbs, the gardener, was. It's like she was what that, because she was sitting there with her eyes closed and the seven orbs were in the shape of the M above her head. And it's like, oh, that's her grounding it. And then it was this energy of like Gaia actually grounding herself in us as we ground ourselves in her typically. And then from that, I was just like, I don't know. That's where it was all questions. You can't drink because of hepatitis. Don't really miss it though. I don't drink a lot or extremely often. What? Oh, I forgot it was the full moon for a second. I knew it was the full moon before I started this, and then I forgot. So thank you for reminding me. Because I got a notification on my way home that the moon was in Taurus, or that the moon was shifting into Taurus, or had shifted into Taurus. Um, and I remember Russ said that like as soon as it's new, it's gonna go void. Excuse me. Yeah, because the sun is at like 27 degrees, or it might be 28 degrees now. Because Scorpio season starts here in a few days. And when the moon is full, it opposes the sun. And since the sun is so late in Libra, that's why it's like we have a full moon and then it's already into the next sign. Is this right now? Yeah. So the sun is like 27 and a half degrees Libra. In 2 days and 7 hours, it will cross the Scorpio cusp. Oh, Mars is like keeping pace. Okay. Mercury is direct now, so Mercury is going to go forward. And then I think it retrogrades in Aquarius, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Excuse me. Oh, it would be interesting if this was that void energy. Because I could have talked about it yesterday, but I was moving stuff and so tired. Grounding, us being that which grounds the barely whatever. And then when I was thinking of grounding, of course, I was thinking of electricity. And if you don't have a ground, then you're not going to get any flow, right? It's like closing the circuit. So anyway, I was going to pull some cards to be like, well, like what does grounding look like, or what is grounding outside of, again, connecting to nature? Because in this way, this is that reverse osmosis energy. I can't remember where. I think it was it the same thing. No, or was it before? I think it was the one before. It was when I was using the Dreams of Gaia tarot, because it was flowing from the Watcher. It was flowing from Middle Earth to the Watcher, or from the Watcher to Middle Earth. And there was the energy where it's like the Watcher was inside of Middle Earth because of the little piece of light that was coming out, and the light that comes out of the eye on the hand of the Watcher, and the Watcher card, and the mystical shaman oracle cards. It was a and it's that reverse osmosis. It's like we're bringing in something. Well, I guess technically it wouldn't be reverse osmosis in that way, um, but it's just this energy where there's so much, for lack of a better word, competition for what we desire to manifest, that like we have to be the ones to ground it, because there's nothing that currently exists that necessarily gives it the foundation and the energy that it needs for it to precipitate on its own. Or, like we could wait until things shift more and more and more and more and more and more. And then, like, the earth will be fertile for this thing to just naturally fall. But, and again, I was thinking of the shortcut lately. I think yesterday or the day before, I think it was yesterday, I was thinking of the shortcut and how even if we take the shortcut, I don't know if things necessarily externally change. Like, I don't know if they don't necessarily play out on a grander scheme, more or less the same, but we have a different personal experience, or we have a different yeah, I guess we would have a different personal experience because it's I don't want to say an aura of completion, but it's almost like if you do the homework early, then you don't have to do it when it's assigned. If you've already done it before it's assigned, then it's already done. And so you may get like within the same global environment, you may get a slightly different personal experience. But anyway, I can like barely read these. Do I know anything about the Arcturian Gateway? No. I know nothing about the Arcturian Gateway, Penelope. That is outside of my realm of stuff. Yeah. And so then I think that's why it's like to connect to nature and to connect to the natural world is to connect to the natural progression. And there's nothing wrong with the natural progression and the natural procession, like from one event to another, to the feelings that arise, to the actions that are taken because of those feelings, to the change in circumstances and situations, right? Like it's almost like that's the way it's going to naturally play out. And so if we go out and we ground ourselves in that, that's what we're going to experience. But if we could ground ourselves in something different, I'll just say different. If we can ground ourselves in something different, then we become the touch point for that thing to come into this reality, right? It's almost like if it has roots in the spirit and it's a seed in the spirit and it grows into the physical. Now I'm getting the tree upside down and mixed up. There was the tree in the middle world came out in reverse. Cause it's like we would be the roots here, but it already exists there. So the true root is in the spiritual, but the root for it to be experienced on earth would be in us. And so that's the xylem and the phloem of the plant, right? I think the xylem flows up from the roots to the leaves, and the phloem flows from the leaves to the roots. And then as we hold that, it shifts down here to, I don't want to necessarily say accelerate the process, but it changes the overall condition. Maybe just a little bit, right? But it changes. And then when that changes, that's what makes it a lot more likely to occur and to transpire naturally because now the environment has shifted and it's more favorable to growing that, like a seed, right? If you have a temperate plant or a tropical plant, if you have a tropical plant, it's not going to grow in the tundra. But if you make your house into a sauna, it might grow in your house. And then you get a plant in a space that it wouldn't necessarily ordinarily be. But like there's a balance. The balance is maintained and kept high above this. Because I don't think like we could introduce a tropical plant into the tundra and then all of a sudden the tundra is like a rainforest. But maybe we can. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, like personally, I feel like for a while my personal experience hasn't necessarily been aligned with the collective. People will be like, "Are y'all like? Do you feel these shifts, or are y'all feeling this energy? I'm going through this. Are y'all going through that?" And then I'm over here like, no. Like personally, I don't know what's going on or what's happening or what y'all's talking about. Sometimes I'm there, but I don't know. I try to also be extremely intentional about like everything I do, just to maximize the amount of stuff I get out of experiences to keep me from not having to have experiences that I that are not pleasurable or enjoyable. Wassail, Mr. Russ. Mars is exactly conjunct Arcturus today on this full moon, and the gateway closed yesterday. Your guides say it's pretty important. It's like the Sirius gateway. I don't know anything about the Sirius gateway either, Penelope. I know nothing. Every now and then, more so in the past, I would see stuff that's like, here's the Syrian portal open today, or an Arcturian portal is open today, and I'm like, I don't. The hummingbird is back. I mean, if I can avoid it, I will. And it's not like, I would say it's not like it cheats or shortcuts anything, because I still have to like go through the same processes, but I don't necessarily have to have that experience so blatantly. Hopefully, maybe. I mean, who knows until I'm at the end of my life. But anyway, the 8-8 portal. Yeah, I knew that Sirius was connected to 8-8 because it's the when Sirius and the sun and something else lines up over the pyramids and something, then that's the something. Well, but I wouldn't call myself knowledgeable about it. So, Twitty said, I wish there was a hummingbird emoji. Here's a ghost. Okay. So that's why I was like, is there anything? And I couldn't think of a deck I wanted to use on like, how do we serve as the ground for something rather than going to Gaia to ground ourselves? Who said that? Was it Shayna? Somebody said they would imagine me as like a hematite or something. I was like, hematite? That's so grounded. Ew. I don't want to be a hematite. I don't remember. Anyway, so I will go through the series of askings. Oof. I don't see. Seeing the stars is on my bucket list. I want to go somewhere and like be like wowed by the night sky. The Gananga Gash. Yeah, I remember that. The Lady Gate. Hey Siri, choose a number between 1 and 6.
A random number between 1 and 6 is 2.
Is 2. We only get 2 numbers? Oof. So now ask Siri I'm gonna flip coins until Siri gives me 2 heads. And then that's gonna determine which 2 numbers I do. You got strength from Orion's belt? What? Well, there's something I'm not doing right. Woo! Hey Siri, flip a coin.
It's tails.
Hey Siri, flip a coin.
Heads.
Hey Siri, flip a coin.
It's tails.
Hey Siri, flip a coin.
It's heads.
Okay. Hey Siri, choose a random number between 1 and 20.
A random number between 1 and 20 is 7.
Accurate. Hey Siri, choose a random number between 1 and 8. Please? Hey Siri, choose a number between 1 and 8.
A random number between 1 and 8 is 3.
It's 3. This is the chariot and the solar plexus, which I feel like is not exactly helpful. Ah! You were close, Russ. Regulus new magic. Oh. He was like, yeah, it's a thing for me. I can pull energy directly from the cosmos. It's no big deal. I'm like, what? Well, hello? Teach me. I don't remember Gunungagash. Are we acquainted? Yeah, he did that before. I think it was like nearing, well, it was nearing the end of, or like mid August when it first came out, and then he did one closer to 9/9, I think. The Lady Gate. Oh, okay, Eve. Gotcha. Gotcha. He was like, that's not what I meant. Eve over there trying to keep secrets. Eve is like, that's totally what I meant, but you're not allowed to know that. So, see, that's that power that Virgo's been hiding. You can tell me, Virgo, I'm Pisces. Hello. Dark Virgo. So there's the chariot and the solar plexus. The chariot brings an energy of integration that leads to progression. Like two seemingly disparate things set aside their differences and they come together to accomplish something greater. And I don't even know if it's for the sake of like accomplishing something or if it's just the energy that comes about when they're no longer opposing each other. Like the removal of opposition allows for a natural, harmonious flow. Hey Siri, define preternatural.
Preternatural means beyond what is normal or natural.
Okay. So yeah, it's beyond what is normal. Because that preternatural just came into my mind. Beyond what is normal or natural. Well, they do say that with E. Ick. Entropy. They say that with entropy, the universe tends towards chaos. Pull a card and get it out of me. A personal experience during a winter long ago. Oh, wow. That sounds like a some kind of like epic shaman magical wizard journey or something. I'm like, what? A stress on the waistline about. From chaos comes order. It's very much that energy. And it is also, it's still that reverse osmosis, that flipping of the polarity, that flipping of the switching of the flow. So there's some chariot type preternatural energy. I feel like I heard that word when I was like in the ninth grade, freshman year of high school, in an English class. And then the solar plexus. I forgot. I guess it's just the solar axis. I forgot the PL. I forgot the PL in plexus. You loved it ever since. Aw. That's so that's cool. John D was preternatural. Is that the author? Is that a character in a book? Because the solar plexus is usually about doing. This is funny, or it's interesting. Because this chariot is coming through. It's almost like activating or sitting in the reverse flow of solar plexus energy. And usually the solar plexus, it's associated with sustenance. And the substances that we take in, the information that we take in, the practices that we do that feeds us physically, energetically, emotionally, intellectually, whatever we need to grow and to expand and mature and develop, that's what the solar plexus sort of like governs. But it's almost like instead of us feeling it to nurture what we do, it's like it's the space from which we nurture other things. And I mean, I think the solar plexus is also the navel chakra. And the navel is where the umbilical cord connects, right? So it makes sense in that way. And I thought about the dream protector, the dream carrier. I thought about the dream carrier when I was at work today, thinking about doing this now. And how with the dream carrier, once you give birth to the dream, you let it go. Like, right? Like once you give birth to a child, you let it go. And the world is going to be to and for that child what the world is going to be to and for that child. And like there's its own maturation process. That's been a personal thing for me. Um, he was the wizard for Queen Elizabeth the First. What? That's what I'm saying, Eve. I'm like, what? What? That's what I was thinking about earlier. And how for over a solid year now, it's been my White World Bridger challenge, I guess, to accept, to learn to accept that what is intended isn't necessarily always the outcome. What is intended is hardly ever the outcome. And so it's like the love of a parent, I guess. The love of I don't want to say a good parent, the love of a parent who is capable of loving their child regardless of how well that child does not align to their hopes and dreams and aspirations and expectations for that child. It's a love that's stronger than any difference and that would see that child know that they're loved regardless. And it's almost like that's the type of connection where it's like we are invested in it, we buy into it, but we don't like strangle it. We don't keep it from naturally evolving and growing and maturing on its own as it enters the world and as it interacts with other people and other energies and as it almost in some ways takes on a life of its own. And so it's almost like with the release of the thing, if it is allowed to grow, then it's like that's the thing that forms the connection, right? Like you send out this thing, and the thing on Earth connects to Earth. And it's through that that like Gaia, that the world around us, the universe, grounds itself in us as we ground ourselves in the universe. And that's the exchange that we have. And it's like it's in the exploration or the ability. It's in the freedom, the invested freedom, that it's almost like new harmonies are discovered outside of the scores and ranges that we would have that we're privy to, that we know about, that we expect. Okay. That wasn't too complicated. Right. I'm eagerly anticipating much of Russell's work. Both expected and intended, Twitty. But I think I already might have said that. Book Kickstarter. Let's get Russell a poncho and everything he needs for this book. Russell Ing around the fountain. Oh, I feel like Russ should totally do an audiobook. I feel like audiobooks is very much so up Russ's alley. I used to be a notoriously bad student. That's why I popped into Amy's and she was like, "Oh, how's school?" I was like, "I'm a good student this semester. I've never been a good student. I was a good student one semester in college, the semester before I became an RA, and then I proceeded to be an even worse student than I was before I was a good student for one semester. So that happened. Russell Inc. Cough right cough. Oh yeah. I know Russell told me because I think I missed. I think I missed that live sound healing. But Russell told me that. Oh, well, no, because I went back to watch it. I listened to it though. I didn't read the live chat. The one about creativity and the sacral chakra and the sound healing tone blockage. So you got to turn the pages. Oof. I am an audiobook lover now. It helps pass the shifts on Sunday. And I mean, I enjoy the books that I'm listening to, so that also helps. But... Yeah, I'm a BE, supposedly. I was at work and they was like, "We ain't got no engineers." I said, "What? We ain't got no engineers." Cough, cough, cough. Cough, 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 cough. Cough, 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 cough. Rob Revere is the new Odin's son. Russell's pen. And the leprechauns. Excuse me. I'm gonna see if Siri gives me any more heads. Hey Siri, flip a coin.
It's heads this time.
Oof. Hey Siri, flip a coin.
Tails.
Hey Siri, choose a random number between 1 and 6.
A random number between 1 and 6 is 3.
Oh, it gave us the solar plexus again. It gave us both sides of the solar plexus. And that's essentially what I already said. It's the thing about how that which we send out serves as the connection both to tie us to the universe and to tie the universe to us. And so, as we serve as the thing that sustains the growth and maturation and development of certain things, we are also sustained so that we can grow and develop and mature and so that we can make the things that we want or wish to happen happen. And so that see, but that's where I don't want to say where you got to be careful. Speaking of Rob Revere, right? Um oh, the rain. Oh, guess you're not meant to hear it, Russell. I'm kidding. Russ can lip read. Oh, darn it. And it's chariot energy. So it also makes sense that the solar plexus will be here twice. I feel like this is going somewhere that I don't know. That's fine. I'll leave it at that. I don't have to take it any further. I was just curious. Excuse me. Well, that's all I had for today. I I'm like 99% sure that's everything I wanted to say, and some not necessarily cohesive order. I am going to either do homework or just relax. I'm probably just gonna relax. I'm gonna watch some anime. I might play some video games and just like for the rest of the day until it's time to go to sleep. So, I have I'm taking 2 databasing classes, Penelope, but one of them is a lot of reading, and that's the one that it's just like it's dreadful. I like the information, but it's just like I'm like struggling. The other one is actually like coding in the database. That one is fun. I enjoy that one. I enjoy them both, but reading just isn't. And I gotta read all day. I'm reading these SOPs, and I'm like, oh, I'm like, hopefully it's not hot in Texas. It's cooling down. It's getting cold here. It's getting that nice, cool. Like, oof, I should have wore a jacket today. Cold. Yeah, I'm like, no. 88. That's not terrible though. Aww, no problem, Holly. You have an IT background, so I took a coding class, and then I took like basically 2 controls classes. The only thing I didn't really do is database design, and that's why I wanted to do that. Um, and I'm enjoying it. I love computers, love it. I love coding. I just get it. It just makes sense in my brain. I actually got a 100% on one of the exams in my coding class. I think it was the first one. I was like, what? I think that was the first 100% I've gotten, because usually I make like stupid mistakes, or like I was skimming through it too fast, and I'll be like, it'll say like which one is not whatever, and then I'll pick the one that is, or like I'll forget a sign or something like that. So I'm like, man, I could have got a 100. But you're uncomfortable feeling any temperature over 70, and you live in Texas. Woof, woof. Woof. I don't even know what logo. All I know is like I did C, a little bit of Python and physics, barely any Python. But C and MATLAB were the two, and there might have been another one. Arduino for the microcontrollers. And then I did some other things in controls, like some ladder logic thing and something else. I enjoyed it though. I had fun. All right, I will catch you all. Excuse me later. Yeah, see, I'm looking at these cards and I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know who I would put on this. I think it's fine as is. There's a maybe an expanded symbiotism and harmony that we play with the world around us and the energies around us. Well, it's something that I think we always do, but I don't know if we necessarily go to the degree all the time or as consciously, or if we are gifted the opportunity, maybe through the space of a task, to be the anchor point for that which is not yet. I wouldn't say that which is not because it is, but it's just like it's like the gut. It's like your microflora, right? Like let's say that there's this new bacteria that's totally natural that will help be whatever. If you through some kind of probiotic, if you ingest that bacteria, it would have to compete with what's already there to anchor itself. Even though it's good for you, even though it's whatever. It's like if the natural energy isn't to the point yet where it allows and accommodates that, that's why we're the ones that have to ground it. So anyway, you'll just have to watch the replay, Russ. I'm just playing. For you, Russell, I shall pull a card. Since we are, you saw a quantum tarot deck. Oof, oof. I'm like, what? That one's for Rob. Rob and his astrophysics. I'm like, what? Talking about the baryons and quarks and stuff. I'm like, but also, yeah, I think I would appreciate that. I have to look it up. Hey, Starbornberg, how you doing? Like new neuropathy work, yeah. Like that's one of the things about the brain that just like it would be good for you, Sagittarius. Whew, if we do that for Sagittarius, I would have to do what I did for the Mesopotamians. I'll be like, all right, I am putting it up. I am going to Wikipedia this with you in real time because I don't even know what this is. Let's try to find out together and see if we can get a astrophysics degree off of Wikipedia articles. Um, but yeah, neuroplasticity with the brain is just like what like when I learned about neuroplasticity, it blew my mind. And like how our brain can literally almost like reconfigure itself. It does reconfigure itself, and it reconfigures neural pathways, and it makes new shortcuts, and it's like yeah, journey work is like we're performing neurosurgery on ourselves, but in the natural like way. You know what I mean? And non-invasive neurosurgery or something. Is that my triggered face? Just that way. Yeah, that's my triggered face. I actually stole that from Mimi. It was her triggered face first, and then I found myself at a point in life where it fit. You know what, Starbornberg? I actually tried to sing that song. All I can hear is Mesopotamia, and then like how they fit all the names in. I don't remember. Sargon. I think she popped up when you were live last time. Is that when you were unboxing the Angelarium year one? I don't know what I don't feel drawn to any deck. And then the Tarot of Magical Correspondences, that one I'm just like, oof. I'd have to really just be like all the way open. These recent decks, like they require me to dig so much. So much. Oh, it was the tea leaf from the dream. Yeah, it was the tea leaf from the dream Keeper. I remember that. I remember. I remember now. One card from the Dreams of Gaia. It is on the top. I have been looking at it. I want a turtle, just like you know. Okay. Umlauts. Ooh. Yeah, I remember that. Because I remember you pulled the seneschal and you're like, seneschal, what's the seneschal? And then the guy was like, oh, the seneschal is like a something, something, something. And then I looked it up. Well, I think I put it in the Google Translate. And thank you, Penelope. My head is already starting to hurt. Like I'm already getting a headache, and I'm still procrastinating it. Um, it was like Officier de Roy, the seneschal. They serve old kings or something like that. I don't know. I was like, oh, okay. Oof. Who was that? I just saw some lady face pop up. Hold up. I'm gonna see if I can find it again. Well, a headache isn't always a bad thing. It's just like, here we go. The Queen of Air. Weaver, observant, wise, truthful, analytical, strategist, just, and detachment. Time to be realistic. Ooh, that phrase used to trigger me. Somebody be like, be realistic. I was like, learn how to dream. Learn how to have ambitions and goals. What do you mean, be realistic? I don't have to settle. Why settle for the ordinary when you can be extraordinary? Ever since I was a kitten, I've had a dream. My name and lights. You can't do anything if you try. No bottom of the deck extras. Okay. So just one card. The headache. It's Libra. My sixth house starts in Virgo and it ends in Scorpio. Oof. Well, there are cards on the floor now. Oh, now I got Mesopotamia stuck in my head. Mesopotamia. I was gonna read that from the other side, never got to it. Well, Russell said only one card, so I'm not gonna take the three that fell on the floor, but I am gonna look at them. Headache intensifies. Yeah, it is. My sixth house and my 12th house are huge. My 12th house starts in Pisces and ends in Taurus. So I have like all of Aries in my 12th house. I think they're in conjuncted. So I have Libra and Aries in conjuncted in my chart. And then I have Capricorn on two houses and Cancer on two houses. So Cancer and Capricorn double up rulership or house rulership because Libra and Aries are just not there. I'll just show these cards. Your 12th house is too? Oh, snap. Yeah, I have Libra in the 6th house. You have entire Libra and Scorpio? Oh my gosh. These are the cards that came out: the Counselor, the Queen of Water, and the Queen of Earth. And I was like, oh, interesting. I feel like that is what I said in some way. Well, because I don't know what that thing is, though, that serves as liaison. One card, please, from the Dreams of Gaia Tarot. For my dear sweet Russ. That's not one card. This is two. This is funny. It's interesting because the Queen of Water came out. So last time the Queen of Water came out, it was with the Queen of Earth and the Counselor. Now the Queen of Water is coming out with knowledge. Queen of Water and knowledge. I'm like, wait. Your rising is Anaretic Taurus. So your 12th is all Aries and Taurus. I have no clue what Anaretic means, but I get you. Mine too. Can I get one card, please? Because Russell said one card. Well, the Queen of Water is holding the space of the self, and the Queen of Earth is holding the space of everything else. And it reminds me more specifically, or most specifically, about thermodynamics. How there's the system and the surroundings. The system is the thing that you're looking at in particular. The surroundings is the entire universe outside of the system. And when Rob did the one reading he did, I don't remember which one it was. It might have been, I would say maybe Sagittarius, but it might not have been Sagittarius. Um, when he was like, the universe is like literally right in front of us. It's not this thing that's like, and I was like, oh, that's like, it reminded me of system and surroundings. So the Queen of Cups is like the system side of the things right now. The system side of things, and the Queen of Earth is like the surroundings. Um, just one card. I'm trying to get one card, but first 3 came out and then 5 came out. But you said only one, so I gotta keep going until I get only one. I might be here all day. See, if you would have just been like, get some cards, then I could have stopped after the 3 and this would have been over. Darn your specificity, Russell. And the greediness of these cards. One card, please. Oh, that's not one card. That's like 2. But I guess I don't have to look at them. I could just flip them over and keep going. It was meant to be quick. Oh, well. Oof. You should have made your intention more directly and plainly known, because then I could have made it quick. But now I'm going to be searching for an hour just to get one card. So the 2 cards that flipped over inside the deck, it's the Crone and the 6 of Air. This is interesting because I talked about how in that Ace of Orbs, how that could have been like the new world popping into the old world with a physical sort of representative incarnate, where it was the Scarab before, and the High Priestess that sits in between light and dark. and the scarab that moves. And then here we have the crone with this in between light and dark, caduceus, half dark, half light, crown activation, headache inducing, nauseating energy. I'm just giving you a hard time, Russ. Yeah, see, that's exactly it, Eve, I guess. I don't know. I already forgot. My head is hurting and I'm hungry. Just one card, please. Just one card. We're gonna get one card, but take a long time. Oof. Okay, yeah. Just one, please. Oh wait, was that one card? Yeah. Oh, nope. It's two cards. What? I didn't even notice these flip over. Now they're all coming out in pairs. It's the Two of Wands and the Five of Wands. There's almost this feminine to feminine, masculine to masculine energy here. But I think it's more about recognition. When I was a young schoolboy, I made a few friends through fights. I'll get into a fight with somebody and then we would be friends. And it's almost like that's how boys, whatever. And then with girls, like they meet and they become friends in another way. Maybe not. Oh my gosh. Look who's at the bottom of the deck. Because I'm like, what is this? It's still the Seneschal. It's the Seneschal in this deck too. So I was just talking about you. I was just talking about you. What? So the other day when I was like, I'm gonna flip through this deck until I see what I see, I was looking for key rings. And I was like, I know key rings are all up and down this deck. And I knew the Seneschal had key rings on it because I remembered that reading that Russ did with the Seneschal and the key rings. But when I was flipping through the deck, I didn't see any key rings. So I was like, it's not meant to be talked about right now. Now, I don't even remember why I was looking for key rings. But the Seneschal has two pairs of key rings. Girls bond over fights with boys. Eve. No, there was another reason why I was looking for keys. Because I remember that happened in her reading. Girls also fight over bonds with boys. Because there was an energy that came out. And I was like, if I find a key in this deck, it'll give me context to talk about it, to see where we are with it more collectively. But now I don't even know. I don't even remember. I don't remember what it was. I don't remember what came out. Maybe. I don't know. I don't remember. Like, there's so much that goes on through my brain. Sometimes I'll watch a reading back and I'll be like, wow, I didn't talk about anything. I was like, I didn't talk about any of it. Because I'll get to a certain part in the video and I'll get excited to hear myself talk about something. I was like, oh, I guess I just thought it. I didn't actually talk about it. But anyway, well, here you go. Here are the keys if you were looking for them. But I don't remember why they came out. But I think it's probably related to this in some way. It's like it's something that we almost initiate. It's not necessarily self initiated. Because again, the current energy doesn't naturally precipitate whatever it is. That's why it's like it's this preternatural energy. Okay, one card, please. One card. One card. I should do this more often. You're drawing a blank. It's fine. Excuse me. Oh, but that read. I think I've watched a few of Remy's Sparkle readings. Look, you see that? You see that? Who is it? Da, 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 da. And there was one card left that didn't get shuffled. I'm not gonna look at it, even though I want to, because Russell said only one card, and I got one card. It's the card of abundance. It's the card of abundance number 15, which is usually where the devil sits. And I was listening to Rob Revere's reading when I was on lunch today. And there was something about how certain things will prey on what it is that we wish for, or will prey on our own sort of like natural proclivities or the ways that we already think. So it's almost like if there's something that we want to see, then maybe there are those that will confirm it. And then you live more life and it doesn't happen. And you're like, oh my gosh, but like I was told that this would happen. Like, what gives? I don't know. That's that Patrick can't answer that. Anyway, this is the card of abundance. The first thing I noticed was the dragon. I'm like, okay. Oh, I almost looked at the bottom of the deck, but I'm not going to do it. Honestly, this reminds me of, I think it was the day before yesterday. It was the gateway card. Just want to get you hooked. Hold up, wait. Virgo not gonna see the key because the key ain't perfect. That's funny. Virgo's like, oh, it's number 15. Also at work today, I'm not gonna look at the bottom, Russell, because you already told me not to. I finally got one card. I finally got one. I'm gonna keep it at one. I almost looked at it though. I was thinking for some reason earlier today, and maybe it ties into this as well. It's like we are Malkuth. Everything plays out microcosmically within us. And we also participate in the more macrocosmic or cosmic. We play a part in the cosmic play while holding everything microcosmically. And I'm looking at how she's holding what might be the world in her hand in that coconut thing, but she's also in the world. She holds it and she's in it at the same time. And it's almost a game of perspectives. Speaking of different dimensions, right? And maybe there's an energy where it's like it's a lot easier to look down, but nearly impossible to look up. Or it's really difficult to look up. And if we do look up, how do we see more? But because of Rob Revere, I would say navigate with caution for sure. Or to at least have a really solid sense of self. But I think a solid sense of self, it also includes our weaknesses, our fears, our darknesses, that which we're sort of like easily tempted by, right? Because then in that way, we're not, it's an honest look at oneself. So then we're not easy to like manipulate in whatever way either. Nearly impossible to look at the bottom of the deck. Red Dragon is one of the Mayan, one of the Mayan signatures. There's the red serpent and the red dragon. I'm not gonna look at the bottom of the deck. I'm not gonna do it. Or I'll do it after I end the live. But within the context of this, see, and I keep looking at the boat in the back. Is that no? That's the tail of the dragon. The tail of the dragon is, it almost looks like a boat, like one of those little canoes. And that's funny because on the way to work this morning, for some reason, I was thinking of Rahu and Ketu, the head of the dragon and the body of the dragon, or the head of the dragon and the tail of the dragon. I was like, well, where's the body of the dragon? Like, are we the body of the dragon? Is the middle world the body of the dragon? I don't know. Or if the bottom is how we ground the abundance, then I guess we won't know. There is a Celtic knot here, though, in the rainbow. See, there is a rainbow here, but the colors are different. It's like it goes red, orange, yellowish, orange, pink, purple, blue, green. It doesn't cycle through frontwards or backwards. It's some combination of the two of them. The tail of the dragon looks. It's the bottom of the deck. Who's a red cosmic dragon? The pot of gold is at the bottom of the rainbow. Oh my gosh. Is that what this is? Is this the pot of gold? Maybe that's a pot of gold right there. Russell did say something about the dragon's treasure, that he had given her the dragon's treasure. The more I look at this, though, the more she almost seems dissatisfied. Ooh. It's not gonna work. It's not. It's not gonna work, Penelope. Twitty's like, yeah, real subtle. She almost looks dissatisfied though, for some reason. I don't know if the dragons told her something, and so she knows that something is gonna play out before it plays out. Because it's almost like she's like biting her lip. like not in that like seductive, sexy way, but in the way like where you're like trying to hold back tears. Maybe it's just anticipation. I don't know. Well, Russell, if you wouldn't have said don't look at the bottom of the deck, I would have looked at the bottom of the deck. She'll be sexy again when she sees the bottom of the deck. So, to appease all of you people who are asking to see the bottom of the deck, I'll show you the bottom of the deck, but I'm not going to look at it. So, I'm going to close my eyes. I don't even know if it's in the frame. You see it? You see it? And I'm going to end this so nobody spoils what it was. I hope you all have a good whatever whenever you see this. I hope you're acting in alignment to make all that you wish to experience your reality. I'm going to shuffle it too. And whatever you need along your path, journey, or way, I hope you find it. Whatever this is, if it's on your path. Oh, I just looked at the bottom of the deck, but it's different now. I didn't look at the original bottom. Okay. I'll catch you all later. Bye. I'll see just enough to click in live. I'm not going to look at the chat. I'm not doing it.